Hi guys, so I'm going to do my September Project Pan finale, and I know it's a little bit late. I've been sick the last couple weekends. I just have not been feeling good, so I haven't been able to film, so that's why this is going up a little bit late, but I will have my October Project Pan introduction. I'm filming it the same day, but it'll be up a little bit later, but I'm really excited to show you these products. Few things before we get started. I have moved kind of locations. I'm still in my bedroom, but I'm using my studio lights, and I feel like I'll give me a lot better light. And I was filming in a weird spot, and it just really like accentuated, and it didn't look good, and I just didn't know what to do. And I found my studio lights, so now I can film with those, and I feel like they look a little bit better. The first thing that was in my project pan was my Benefit Erase Paste. I've had this in my monthly project pans since June, which was when I started them, and it was in a palette from the Benefit Confessions of a Concealaholic palette. I finished everything but this erase paste. It's still not gone. I don't have that much left. I use this every morning underneath my eyes, and I've started using it just a little bit on blemishes, but not too much. So I'm hoping this will be done in October, just because I've been using it for a long time, and I want to try some other things and use up what I have and then be able to try some other things. I really do like this. This is in number 2 medium, but it still looks pretty good underneath my eyes. I put powder on top of it, and it still like works for my skin. I would probably, if I did get this, get it in number 1 just so that it brightens it too, but I don't struggle with dark under eye circles, so it's not a huge deal if it doesn't cover that well, I guess, or if it's not as brightening, because I don't need that. My under eyes are actually like super white, but they look like really weird. Anyways, the next thing that was in my project pan was the e.l.f. Olive Color Stick. It's like the rhinestone was all gone, in Persimmon. And when I started, it was a little bit below this black line. I rolled down, and now it's up here. So I have made some good progress. This is a really strange color for me. It looks like this. It's like too highlight, like bright for just like a blush, but it's too pinky for just like a highlight. So I kind of use it as a base for both of those, and then I sometimes put a highlight on top, or just kind of like blend it in with my blush, and it works really well. So I don't think I would get this color again, but I do like these all over color sticks. I do have one in Pink Lemonade that's more like a blush color that I might go on to after this, or there's another one I'm thinking about. But in general, I don't like cream blushes, so I would just get a cream. I just eventually want to have one cream blush that's kind of a natural one that I could just throw on like really simple days, because that's what I do like them for, but I just don't normally reach for them. The next thing was in my palette, and if you remember, I did have a blush in this palette as well. I've actually finished that blush. I'm so excited. I started working on it in June, but I finished it in like the first day of October, so it won't be in my September empties, but it will be in my October empties. I'm so excited. My October empties is going to be crazy. My September empties is not going to be as exciting, but I still did finish products and have kind of decluttered some things, so that video will be up soon as well. This was my NYC Sunny Bronzer. I feel like I have used this. You can see some progress in it. This will be rolled over to my October project pan, and hopefully we can get it finished. I use this every single day, kind of as a contour and all over, like just bronze, just really lightly, because even though this is repressed, it has such like high pigmentation, and I don't need like to look super like have a ton of makeup on, because I teach 2nd grade, so I want it to look as natural as possible. But I do use this to give my face a little bit of color, because if you cannot tell, I'm super pale, and this light actually like, it makes me look a little more pale than normal, but it actually like is pretty close to my color. But yeah, I've been using this Solutions by Art Bin for my like magnetic, because it has a magnetic strip. It needs to be clean because this like is super powdery, but it's magnetic. This doesn't have magnet on it actually, but it just kind of, so it slides around, but it's still good for that because it's still thin enough that it still works really well. So definitely recommend it if you're looking to get like a Z palette. Like try this just because it's a little bit cheaper, and I don't know, it does the same thing. So that's just a thought. The last thing is something that's super, super exciting. It was my Markwins palette. And I believe Markwins, someone told me that Wet n Wild, or their like Markwins makes Wet n Wild. And I've had this palette for so long, I don't know where it came from. So my palette eyeshadows are finished. There's a few, if you can see, have a little bit along the edge, but I couldn't get them, and they were like caked in there. It wasn't worth it. I couldn't get my brush. This one is a good example. I couldn't get my brush to get any more. It was just too much of a pain. So like I said, I've had this palette for so long, I'm just gonna get rid of it, I wasn't gonna use those. The only thing I am gonna do is I'm gonna take this palette apart and get the pink blush and this like orangey blush. They're so pigmented. These are the two blushes, and I used them a little bit this month, but I'm gonna break this palette apart and put these two blushes in that little like fake Z palette. But I'm just going to get rid of the rest, because the other things are lip glosses, and as you can tell, they're disgusting. I would not use those. But I finished all the eyeshadows. I'm so excited. That was my goal. I knew I would not finish the blush because they're so pigmented. They take so much like buffing, and a lot of times in the morning I just don't have time. And I was working on another blush that was in there too at the same time. So excited about this. So this palette is pretty much done except for those two blushes, and that wasn't even a goal. These two blushes won't be rolling over to next month just because I don't really I want to get them finished in 2016, but as of right now I'm not going to work on them. I'm just kind of working on a couple blushes that I want to get finished in 2016. Those were the 4 products that I had in my September project pan, and I'm really excited with the progress. Some of them will be rolling over till October. Some of them obviously will not. I do these monthly project pans to help track some progress and hopefully get some things moving. Some months, like this month, I didn't finish quite a lot. Like the eyeshadows I did, and that I knew I want to finish most of them this month. But the rest of them I knew I just wanted to see some progress and put them in there, so I started working on, because the cream blush, I just never used it. It was in like my makeup drawer, but I never used it. So I knew if I put it in my project pan that I would use it and get some use. So that's sometimes why I put things in here. But again, that is one thing that will be rolling over, so we can see some progress and hopefully finish it in October. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you're doing like a project pan or pan that palette or anything like that, because I would really enjoy watching it. I'll talk to you later. Bye.